Welcome to episode number 46 of the BEBC
BS
Podcast, August 31st, 2019. Hey, did y'all get rained on again this morning?
A little bit.
I don't know.
I got up 10:30. I don't know if it rained or not.
Didn't hear any thunder and all
Nothing.
that stuff? You heard the thunder, didn't
Not
you,
with all the
James?
fans
I heard
going.
the sound of the head hitting the pillow and it was gone. I heard some
And
thunder. I got up and I looked at the radar to see if we were about to get hit.
Yeah.
A huge storm coming down
Yeah.
and it went right next to the house but didn't quite get us.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I got rained on here. And we don't,
Well, I got some rain, but not the big one.
Y'all are in the country.
I know, man. We had thunder, lightning, everything here. It was awesome. Because then you just didn't want to get out of
You know,
bed.
the goats and the pigs and the chickens were all like cornered up in the corner of the coop.
All right.
Crazy.
Enough farm talk for you there, Ted?
Yeah. They were all a little giddy this morning.
Oh, and we should be.
Speaking of corn fed and big bread, yeah, we'll get into that later. We got one special play that
We do.
Somebody's gonna talk
We got a lot to talk about today because last night, the Allen Eagles in the Tom Landry Classic beat the Cedar Hill Longhorns, and today we can do it. And horns down, we can do it here. It's okay. Just for Cedar Hill, not for UT.
He might get a little penalty on.
Oh, did he do that?
He was
going like that big time.
He had his arms out like the horns, but he was doing it to our student section.
I didn't see. Well, see, you see things we don't see because we're on the other end of the stadium. Well, good for him.
Yeah, and how about all our Marine Junior ROTC?
Hang on a second. 41-28 was the final score. I never got it out, so congratulations.
Dang.
And that's why we have a lot to talk about. So
Way to go, Eagles.
many, many things to talk about.
Yep.
I think we're going to start with Big A. I want to start there. And we've had this discussion before, but is it not just time for somebody just to shoot that thing?
Somebody did shoot that thing. About 5 minutes before the team came out.
I've never seen any other team have as much of a struggle with their blow up as we do with ours.
Well, and Sherry even said it to me. She goes, she looked down at Cedar Hills, and theirs is just as big as ours. And she goes, well, how come
Right.
theirs? And I'm like, I don't know.
All right, so put yourself behind the scenes. Who was the person that had to go into the locker room and tell Gamble, you can't run out yet? Big A is uninflated.
I wonder
Well, they were
why
dragging out the head.
taking-
They had the head drug out.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
ready
they
to
did.
go, and then they got the A going. So
But enough already.
yes,
It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
it is embarrassing.
It is. And I know the tunnel crew guys can't control whatever's going on electronically that makes it stop. But if you can't fix it, get rid of it.
You know, you guys, my name starts with an A, so I love the A.
You're the first one to complain.
Is that the reason you love the
I
A?
would complain
It's because your
about
name starts with the A?
I don't know, I love it.
Okay. Well,
I went down and caressed it
We'll put
at
it.
halftime.
We'll put it at the front of your house where you walk through it to go to your front door of your house.
You know, that would be
That is
so
all.
great.
your
Electric bill $5,000 a month.
Your HOA would love that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we'll move on past that. But man, what a super night for the team. And, last week we sat here and we said, okay, there's a lot of question marks because you got a young team, a bunch of new starters. Who's going to step up? Where are there going to be issues? And I think we learned a lot about the character of the kids on the team and the coaching staff, and a lot of things that happened last night were pretty unexpected, at least in my view.
Yep.
I think
Absolutely.
most of us felt that way, and most of them were pleasant surprises.
Yeah, a lot of answers that were.
Yeah, you're replacing
Big question marks.
17 starters on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
10 on defense, and you got 4 returning. No, 8. You only had 3 returning starters on offense. Theo left, right, and then Jawan. So we're left with 2 receivers and a running back. That was it.
That's it.
Started. All
Kudos.
new line, all new defense except for Jaden Healy.
Yep.
So 18 out of 22 starters replaced.
And there we go. Cedar Hill gets the ball. And we'll talk about coaching a lot because I think the coaching was much better for 85% of the game because we've been on the coaches. But Cedar Hill's best player And all you got to read is every scouting report on Cedar Hill, which I spent a lot of time doing this year.
Right.
Quinn Bright is their best player. So when they go back on the opening kickoff, who's back there? Quinn Bright. Who do they kick to?
Right.
Quinn Bright. I looked at Alan, I'm like, why would you do that? He's their best player. Why do you kick to him? And what does he do? He returns it
40, 50 yards.
midfield or whatever, Allen territory. And you're like, oh boy, here we go. But Cedar Hill drives down, go to kick a field goal, miss the field goal.
Hippopotamus. Yep.
Allen gets the ball at their own 20-yard line. First play from scrimmage. One of the new guys, who really isn't a new guy, but he's new at the position. From
Yeah,
the
he is
perspective.
number 3. Who is number 3?
Number
Who
3.
is this guy?
They change numbers all the
Number
time.
3? We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Number 3, quarterback Raylan Sharp. Does what Raylan Sharp does.
Track star.
80 yards to the house. And if y'all haven't seen the video on Twitter, go watch it because Dallas Morning News posted it. And the crowd noise, it's great. I love hearing crowd noise. When he starts running, he goes left. And it's like the Red Sea parts. There is nobody out there.
Literally.
Yeah,
There.
the Red Sea. That's good.
So it was a spiritual experience, is what you're saying.
It might have been. And he goes 15 yards, and he's got the safety back there. He jukes the safety. The safety falls down.
Yeah, on his back.
And then it was just, watch me, I run track speed. I told Alan as he's running down there, he turns back and looks at the DB chain. So he said, you don't run track, but I do.
So in a metaphoric way, once he passed that last hurdle,
That was it. Off he goes. And you look up and,
He took the baton and took the house.
it's 7-0 Eagles. First play from scrimmage, you go 80 yards. And you're like, okay, we'll take that. And as Thad says, my voice went that first. What'd you say I did? I
Mark blew a vocal cord.
pulled a vocal cord. I was injured.
Squeak and squawk.
The rest of the night I was talking like puberty or something, but it
He
was.
sounded like a 13-year-old girl at a Justin Bieber concert.
Oh my God.
I've never been to one of those, but that's a good example.
that and I go all the time.
So the first quarter, before you know it, you turn around, things were going well. It's 21-0 Allen. And you're like, how does this happen? And that's where we've got a lot of things to talk about on the offensive side of the ball and defensive. But on the offensive side of the ball, you're like, one of the biggest concerns that we had was what?
O-line.
O-line.
Yep.
The O-line played great.
Remarkable job of just staying with their pursuers
Yep.
and blocking like they should be. And a few little holes every now and then.
You know, it to me looked like a mid-season form orchestration of how they were moving.
Yep.
Like on the zone blocking plays and things of that nature. They were moving and real mobile. Looked like they had some interchangeable parts too. I know I saw 74 playing left tackle some, playing right tackle some.
And that's
we had a little bit-
Tanner Norris, right?
Yeah, we had the center kind of had another guy stepped in, that guy went to guard, so injuries are going to come. But it's good to see that they've got, they're young and everything, or fairly, well, I don't know. There's some
But
sophomores. in there,
inexperienced.
Inexperienced.
Yeah, that's the way to
but
put
they
it.
look like they're pretty good form. Real good form.
I thought so, and it does help having a mobile quarterback. And this is where I was talking about coaching earlier. The play calling to me to move Raylan. He didn't stand back in the pocket all the time. There were a lot of rollouts and a lot of completions off the rollout.
And my God, what an arm. Throwing it sideways, underhand, whichever way you wanted to. It was had a zip on it. And it
Who
was
said it
there.
when he plants his feet, he can really hum that ball.
He can.
Big time.
Any which way but loose.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I saw consistently last night, and we all saw it, was the flare to the back out of the backfield. Was an effective play.
Perfect passing.
Favorite play of 2019.
And maybe we had one bubble screen.
The
that
one they
backup
threw.
quarterback threw.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And also, there were some just out routes.
Yeah.
And that we had seen, not a whole lot of that. First down, we were throwing 7-yard outs. making things really, really, really difficult for the defense on second and short.
Yep.
You know, so those things look really good.
There were many things I liked about the passing game. The Green Twins were what we knew they were, you know, and Blaine and Bryson both had superb games.
Sherfield was awesome.
And Sherfield across the middle
Yeah.
made some great catches.
Catches and held on to it and everything.
And he paid the price on a couple
did.
of them in there. He fumbled once, but he had like 3 guys hit him at the same time.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, he was incredible across the middle, which you love to see. You know, you just you like the fact that everybody got involved. I mean, when you look at it, Raylan, there were 23 completions to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different receivers. So it wasn't just a one-man show. You know, and it
Unlike Cedar Hill.
yeah, well, Cedar Hill ran a
Number one,
2-man
yeah.
show because Quinn Bright had 11 catches. I mean, he had 11, but he only had 70 yards, so it wasn't like he was burning you deep. Now, the other kid,
Number two.
number 2,
Hutchins.
we had some problems covering him.
Well, say you had some problems. It's almost impossible to defend a well-thrown ball.
No, I agree.
There was a couple of those, but there was 1 or 2 times he got behind us. But
Well,
Yeah.
number
You know, that
25,
guy's world-class.
picking on 25 Sabian, right?
I don't know if it was the same guy.
Or 22.
That long pass to the end zone was a perfectly thrown ball. That
Yep.
was- nobody could have defended that. That was way out here. You know,
Right.
really, really good throw.
Yeah, he ended up with 114 yards receiving. So that was the way they kind of crawled back in the game in the second quarter, made it 21-13 at half. You're like, okay,
And we
Feel
had some
good.
fluky, turnover
yeah. The
situations.
3 turnovers on the night, which you hate to see, but the thing is, you didn't win the turnover battle, but you won the game. So you overcame your mistakes, which for an inexperienced team is a huge deal. Here I go. So that was good to see that they overcame their mistakes. You know, and-
Regroup.
yeah,
They regrouped that because we came out, we punched them dead in the mouth, 21-0, and then you knew at some point they were going to make a stand, but the momentum definitely shifted, and
Yeah.
and halftime couldn't get here fast enough.
Yeah, we had a
Really.
tough second quarter.
You know, but it was a fluke in the end zone. Which Green had that,
that was Blaine.
Blaine.
Yeah.
Right.
and you know, as he's bringing the ball in, that guy just made a good play.
Yeah, he did.
It was not a bad thrown ball. It wasn't a flub by the receiver. It was just a better play by the defender.
Yeah.
So you
Had
take
his
that.
Arm up in between the ball and ended up coming out with it rolling.
That's football. But
Yeah,
That was kind of a turning point, though, because, it's 21-7 at the time. He keeps that ball and scores. It's 28-7.
yeah,
And the route is on.
Yeah.
Momentum
It
is
could have been crazy.
building. Well, and I think second quarter is when we started seeing some of the really low snaps that were causing a little
The Baki
issue.
ball.
And,
yeah.
yeah.
and then they were keeping Raylan. It looked like they were keeping Raylan in the pocket more. And he's much more dangerous when he's mobile
Sure.
like that because, trying to see, I think I'd like to see him keep rolling them out more, but that's just me.
From a spectator standpoint, though, isn't it crazy when he rolls to the left and stops and then throws back to the right, and all of us know, it's like,
You don't do that.
because that's
Yeah.
when all the bad things happen.
But you're not supposed to throw back over the middle. But the way that looks like the play is designed for
To come that way,
So
yeah.
he's got his feet and everything turned. He's got the defense going with him. The backside comes in. He's got his man beat, and it's wide. There's nobody in his face. That's the thing with that play call.
And that's the beauty
Yep,
of it
and,
all.
we've seen it last year. They broke it out, and with Raylan, and that's his skill set to be able to stop, turn back, and plant and throw. To me, that's been my favorite play to see because he put some mustard on that ball when he throws it, and it's dead on the money. So
We got to see a glimpse of Jordan Johnson,
yes, that first catch out of the backfield.
number 11. For those of you who don't know who that
Most
is,
impressive.
Yeah.
sophomore running back,
He's a junior.
junior this year. I'm sorry.
He had some really good runs, too. Man.
He and Selden, I love having the two of them in the backfield. I think that's a very comfortable position for the team right now.
almost makes you think that we should have a few less design quarterback runs, but then Raylan breaks them and.
And as the O-line gels, the holes will open up and
Yeah.
Selden and
Well, and there were times last night when you're like 12-yard run, 10-yard run, 15-yard run by those guys, and you're like, okay, O-line, way to go.
Yeah.
It was doing that.
And he's able to dictate those himself by just seeing what's opening up and
Yeah.
what's not opening up. So
We averaged 5.5 per carry, 177 yards rushing, which included those long snaps that went 22 yards back and people fall on. So you take that out, they probably had over 200 yards rushing at the end of the day.
absolutely.
Which would have been good. It was good to see,
Yeah.
that going on. They put up 41 points. Justin Hall capped it off with a flare out of the backfield, and then he does what he does when he meets somebody. He says, "You want
Exclamation point.
you want to tackle me? Let's go."
Yeah.
He's not even a wrestler, and he did it anyways. He's
He's
like,
like, what, let's see, 205, somewhere around there. Yeah, 202.
202.
That's a big-
5'10", 202. A
He,
lot of that is calf.
yeah.
You got Sam Ellinger calf.
All I know was I saw that coming. I said, "Oh, here we go," because he carried on the left side, and like that guy was standing there, like the 2-yard line. I'm like, "This is not going to be good," because you knew what was going to
It would have been
happen.
great to see a zoom of the guy's face mask. Better to see his eyes. Yeah.
yeah.
So he gets barreled back into the end zone because Justin he ain't got no zig and zag. It's all, I'm coming right at you.
It's all zip.
Fun to see.
Ridiculous.
Total Zonka.
Yeah, exactly. So the offense, great job, and kudos to the play calling. I mean, I really do think that made a big difference last night because
Yep.
they obviously knew, because Cedar Hill was very highly touted on the defensive side of the ball. They got some studs up front, and their secondary is supposed to be out of this world, and there were,
Yeah.
there were 2 picks last night. The one in the end zone was a very good play, and the other one was on a tip ball.
Yeah.
And so it's not like, Raylan, he only had 8. Well, the backup quarterback had 1 pass incomplete, so Raylan only missed 7 passes all night. I know Sherfield dropped 1, but the rest of them, you can't complain about that.
Yeah.
If you complete 65 to 70% of your passes, you're going to be okay.
The whole coaching staff needed to be applauded. They did an excellent job preparing the guys for the game. I just, I can't talk enough about the way the game looked. Everybody was prepared.
Yeah.
It's
So
awesome.
it's all downhill from here.
You think so?
No, they
Well,
can
Cedar Hill,
build on
Cedar
a
Hill
lot
was
of
a
that.
great test. I mean,
Yeah.
next team's going to be a big test, but this
This
was
game needs to be forgotten,
Big
and the
hurdle.
next game needs to be
And that's
in mind.
that's the thing. I think this group of kids, we talked about it a little bit when Terry was here last, that Raylan said the day after they lost, they were already,
practicing.
practicing. I mean, I think this group of kids I think they're tight knit. I think the senior guys are the captains. They couldn't have picked 4 better captains.
No.
Did we mention who the
Zaytik
captains were?
Zaytik is very vocal and will get in your face, and you need a couple. Like I think that was McCory's role last year. If you fooled around in the weight room, you had to deal with him. And not many people want to deal with him. But that they showed great leadership over the off-season workouts, and you could see it come to fruition last night.
Yep. Everybody hang on one.
I try to use that.
So it was a great offensive performance. I had the wrong microphone on, so it may have sounded a little funny for a bit. But you moved to the defensive side of the ball,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
and I started writing down names of everybody we need to talk about,
Yeah.
and I just quit.
It's the whole defense.
You ran out of room.
I did, and it was. I want to start with somebody that I don't know anything about. To be honest with you, number 52, Malik Allen.
He was 94 last year.
Okay. I kept hearing his name over and over and over again. Now, Cedar Hill's offensive line, was supposed to be another strength. Their left tackle, 77, committed to LSU.
That's SEC country, folks.
Yeah,
Fisher had his number all night long.
everybody had his number
Yeah.
all night long, and I think that was evident. not on the first series, but starting with the second series, they started getting pressure. Whether it was Fisher coming off the end, Lane Lewis coming off the end.
Yeah.
Everybody coming around. The guy may be big,
Can't move.
But he
couldn't
was
move.
scrambling, looking for targets, and
And I
that's
saw
part
him
of the
one time, and he had Lane. He was, as Lane Lewis was running by, he's got him like this, trying to hang on to him. And you're like, that's a hole. They didn't call it, but he had a rough night. But Malik Allen just showed up consistently.
Yeah.
And you're like, we talked last week about who's going to step up. That was one of the names that I thought stepped up really big.
And it was interesting because I was watching him a lot, and he and the guy that was the right tackle, they did a lot of talking after each play.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't look like they were talking smack, but they were like talking to each other a lot.
What's working, what's not
Communicating. Yeah. That's
Well,
what
just
you want
with
to see.
No, I mean on the other team, on Cedar Hill's team,
okay.
their right tackle. So it looked like they were having a really, really fun competition.
Oh my God, how are we going to stop these guys? Well, and another one I want to call out is Jet Waters. He's what, $150
Maybe.
soaking wet, but he did a good job of stepping up and kind of filling the position.
Well-
it's a challenge.
And then you lose last year, one of our better middle linebackers. Well,
sir.
Allen's had a ton of good middle linebackers.
Yeah, we gotta-
but Nick Boone
68.
was
Yeah.
he you got to rank him up there. And so you think, okay, who's going to? And Colin Prince.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
Lord.
Number 27, Colin
Mhm.
Prince.
It's another name you heard all night long.
Yeah.
And the hitting, oh my Lord, those Will Drogosh, Matthew Norman, all the second, does some of those little bubble screen things or just swing passes to the outside. Nobody's within 10 yards when the ball leaves the quarterback's hand.
Yep.
And they're there
Closing
when the
speed.
receiver closing in
Yeah.
and sure tackling. I mean, we missed a couple of tackles, but you got to give them some credit. But for the most part, there was some our tight coverage, very tight coverage.
I thought the tackling was really impressive last night.
Yeah.
I don't. Again, you're dealing with a team in Cedar Hill that has a ton of athletes, and they're going to make some plays. But even Quinn Bright, when he'd catch the ball, like I say, he only averaged 6 yards. He caught 11, but he only averaged 6 yards a catch, and he's their playmaker.
Right.
And so that would be the guy you would expect to break loose, and
They couldn't run the ball at all. All lines.
Yeah, they're
stuffed them, stopped them.
You had the run stoppers in there with Latos and Isaiah Hullum and Malik out. They're all plugging the middle, and there was nothing there for those guys to run through.
Nothing.
which, if you want to talk about stopping the run and plugging the hole, we got to talk about the prophet.
The prophet.
The prophet. We have anointed him the prophet.
Alan, you want to talk about this play?
When was that?
It was in the
It was like the third series.
third. Yeah, it was
So it was
early
the
in the
first
game.
quarter?
Yeah, it was first quarter.
Oh, yeah, it was,
Yeah,
because
there was-
that's how we lost our voice.
Yeah, they were still going north.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and for anybody that's listening, especially you ladies, this isn't meant the way it might come across. But there's just, everybody jokes about their mother-in-law. And so, to me, the mother-in-law award goes to Isaiah Fisher.
Hey, it's not Isaiah Fisher.
How about Elijah instead?
There you go.
One of the prophets.
Know your prophets, Alan.
That's how the whole prophet thing came about.
Started,
Okay,
yeah.
so Elijah laid the hammer. To me, that's one of the best. I love that because you can see it coming.
Yep.
Because you can see, and he came up and right after the running back got the ball, he nailed him, picked him up, drove him back into the ground. And that's how you want to hit your mother-in-law. If you were on the field, if you were to meet your mother-in-law, metaphorically speaking, that's how you would want to do it. Like I said, ladies, it's men in love.
So Alan really wants to hug his mother-in-law and take her to the ground.
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Because we love her so much. But anyway, to me, that was just that was a metaphor of the whole night for that defensive front. All 90 guys that rotated in on that defensive line or whatever.
thing of beauty.
it was-
Perfect
it was
timing.
tough.
He was waiting right at the edge of the
Man,
line.
it was just
Running backs coming in.
So
Boom.
Alan will buy his mother-in-law football for Christmas and tell
That's
her to
it.
carry it with you every time you come over here.
That's it.
should plow me over probably.
She might. But that to
But
me
that was met with love anyway.
Yeah, that play set the tone. And for those of you who haven't seen that play or want to see it again, James posted it on Twitter. It's out there. I don't know how many views it's got now, but I've watched it like 20 times, just over and over and over again.
It's just a thing of beauty.
It was.
Yeah.
It's form tackling at its best, and it happened in the backfield, kind of right in front of us. And, Elijah, way to go, bro. And I'll get Alan to learn your name. That's
Y'all
why
don't
we're
realize
calling
that
the
was
Bronx.
on purpose. That was like I did last night. Anyway, whatever.
And
I could see him pulling the Heisenberg. Comes up to you, say my name.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, and a shout out to Fish. You know, it was raining really hard yesterday at 2:30, 3 o'clock when you guys had to report, and everybody ran into the field house, and you made the effort to come back out and say hi to us while it was raining, and just to, you know, we appreciate that. You know, and now what we didn't appreciate was the fact that you looked at us and said, "Y'all know I moved to defense, right?" It's like, Fish, come on, dude. I'm like,
he did get some plays at tight end.
he did get in there,
Yeah.
you know, and you know he did his holding
For the
duties
kicks,
very
yeah,
well.
yeah.
And he even took responsibility for one bad kick that actually went over the crossbar, but it wasn't real pretty. But he
Oh
came to
man,
the sideline.
that was a
and he said
pure
that was on
DeSoto
me.
kick right there.
So good for Fish. But yeah, Fish had a great game. Healy played well again. You know,
You know, we I was just thinking we didn't mention his name because he did what he always does.
He does.
He's just good.
he's there.
He's a football player.
Yep.
Come off the field,
Boom.
dragging his arm. A couple plays later, he's back out there again.
Doing it again.
You know what can you say? He's a warrior.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
The secondary. I mean, other than the deep bombs, I think you got to give the secondary an A for sure.
Yep. Matthew
that-
Norman was on fire, and
Yeah, and
And he'll
You know, he-
hit you. Holy moly.
And he's
Yeah.
if I went back and watched, I've been sick the past few days, so I watched every LL 120 video about 90 times, and he comes up, and when he wants to pick you up and drive you into the ground, he hits you hard because it's velocity when he hits you, and
And I think a lot of those things where a lot of the deep passes were completed. They had a lot of coverage issues because it's different than they've done in the past.
Yeah.
You know, where a corner used to do this and that and the other, and it looked like a lot different, like a lot of 3 deep coverage instead of what they would do before, where it was 2 deep and the corners would stay up close. And it looks like they were doing a lot of things different. So I think that'll all gel as they
Get better.
get more experience.
yeah, and I know we did end up having a couple kids that came out of the game with some injuries. So hopefully they're doing well and can come back and
looked
play.
like he was cramping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he did.
There was a little
Actually,
leg
the play
cramping.
before that happened, you could see him kind of stretching his leg
Yeah.
out. And I went, uh-oh, there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, second
went
play,
down and
he
cramped up, yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Pickle juice. Anyway.
There you go.
Pickle popsicles.
There you go.
Salt pills and pickle juice.
Yep, it's cool. Kicking game.
Great kicker.
Did we get a chance to even? Oh, we did.
James Griffith.
But before we go any further, we have a new segment we're going to throw in every week,
Uh-oh.
hopefully. We do.
What is this segment?
This segment is called Know Your Puns.
Know your puns.
Now, you really have to be an Eagle fan to understand this. Because if you don't, you're going to be like, what are those guys
Hold
talking
them
about?
up close so they can see.
But our resident pun master, Mr. Thad Dingler,
Pun master and illustrator
has
extraordinaire.
come up with some puns based upon last night that I'll let him take over. And
I've been pontificating a lot.
oh boy,
I think the
So,
number 4 pun
we
is
sure field a pretty good team, and I wrote this out so Nolan would understand it better.
say that one again. Say that one
We
again.
sure field a pretty good team.
There you go.
Darian Sherfield. And then moving on to greener pass tours, seeing how there's 2 of them.
Oh boy,
Right? Y'all get that one?
I got it.
of course, the obvious one is the offense really looked sharp. Evident with the first play of the game.
There you go.
Offensive play of the game. And as a reminder, last week's prediction score was, I said Allen 38, Cedar Hill 27. That's pretty good score
Pretty
prediction
close.
there. So 41-28, I'll take that. And Nolan had to lose $10 to me. That we'll just keep that at that though.
Supposed to talk about gambling.
Are you got
Gamble. Yeah.
gamble? Are you going to hold that over his head, or is he going to pay you?
Oh, he already paid.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
I wanted him to pay today in front of the camera, but he
He's
paid me
off
last
doing
night.
something
Yeah, well,
with
We
somebody.
love you, Nolan.
Very good, Thad.
so thank you, Thad, for your commentary.
That's very
and
funny.
That was something.
Well,
So let's talk about coaching for just a minute, because as I said earlier, I think coaching overall game was very good until we got to the 6-minute mark left in the fourth quarter.
The punt.
and decided to try to block the punt.
Well, even before that, when it was, I already went blank. You were up by 3 scores. It was a 3-score game, and you had 4th and 1 or 2 on their. Oh, I don't know. It was 31-13 at that
Right.
point. So
You're up.
you're up 3 scores.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's 4th and 2 on their 25, 20 or whatever it was. Okay, you can kick a field goal. Guess what? You're still up 3 scores. But if you go for it and you make it and you score, you're up 4, ball game. You ain't got to worry about it. So they kick the field goal. They're up 3 scores. And then he pulls his starters on defense. And the next thing you know, you look up and it's 41-28.
Yeah.
You're like, And then what has to happen? Then the next series, Cedar Hill gets the ball. What do?
The big boys were back.
Starters are back in.
Yeah.
Little, second guessing, I guess, on that. But I told Alan I would have gone for it on that 4th and 2. I mean, they haven't been able to stop you most of the night, and with a mobile quarterback,
Yeah.
that was just and then the putting the how do you call it, the rotation to work in there, and the rotation gives up 2 quick touchdowns, and you're looking like, uh-oh. And then Cedar Hill tried the onside kick, which went out of bounds. And,
Yeah.
you
That was
you
a
got
little
forced to get
scary
the ball
there
back.
for a minute.
So, in hindsight, yeah, it all worked out. But, we're grading everybody when we do these podcasts, and I just
I don't have as big an issue with them not going and getting the 3 points.
Yep.
The thing that kind of got me, and the guy that sat in the row between me and David, he had said like the same thing. When they brought their punt team out, he said they're conceding the game. Basically, because they were, and
That was with 5 or 6 minutes left, right? Something like
yeah,
that.
and it was 4th and 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I don't know if they called for a punt block or just said, if it's there, go get. Anyway, to me, you almost called the dogs off on that to make sure that you just get the
Right.
ball.
Don't hurt
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, but the thing not that it just made the game last 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
It
wasn't
should
long.
have. It said that last 6 minutes and 21 seconds went by, and the scoreboard guy clock keeper guy was trying to help us out.
Running clock.
They
He
had
ran
to
that
stop
bad
him a
boy
couple
down.
of times, man. He was, but it was bad timing when we ran into the kicker, and it almost could have been just a running into the kicker instead of the
Yeah,
personal
personal
foul
foul.
version. Yeah.
Well, the kicker was
because
from the acting team too.
to me, if the defender or the guy trying to block it has already left his feet before the punt is made, then no matter how the malicious the hit it is, it still should just be running into the kicker,
Yeah.
not roughing the kicker.
Well, we came close all night long on
Yeah.
block
Yeah.
kicks and block
There's
punts.
going to be some
Yeah.
block punts this year.
Yeah, there is. They did
Yeah.
a great job getting through that line.
And blocked extra points and field
Field goals.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
That'd be
Norman
nice.
coming off that edge, he just barely missed.
Yeah.
Well, Healy came off too. And
Yeah, up the middle on the punts and
Yeah.
stuff. But there's going to be we're going to do some damage. And
We need to have a new Hall of Famer like Stephen Terrell. Stephen Terrell was notorious for getting
Cameron
it blocked.
Hartsfield.
Oh, Cameron Hartsfield and
He had
Steven.
6
Yeah.
blocks in 1 year.
Yeah.
So
overall, we were pleased with the result,
Yeah.
no doubt.
but lots of good teaching moments too. I mean, the coaches got a lot to work with because there's a lot of positives, but there's some things they need to clean up. 10 penalties, you'd like to see that, drop a little bit, cut them in half.
And the deeper DB knocking out the closer DB
Yeah.
on an interception.
Yeah.
Maybe he was on that ball too.
Boy,
But
I got
that
it. I
double
got it.
coverage on that one of those bombs they threw was excellent. You
Yeah.
know, that one pickoff we got, that was great.
Yeah, and the one pass in the end zone, I mean, it was going to be a touchdown. Savion Richardson ended up going up, and that was a really good DB play. Get the hand in between, knock it out. He didn't turn around, but he timed it just perfect. So
So overall, a good start for the Allen Eagles. Some questions answered. Still some things to linger, to work on, like I say. Next up, the Dickinson Gators come in. Dickinson won last night. Stop that. We're watching the Seminoles on TV right now, and you're going to throw out the Gator
Yeah,
jump.
52 something.
Wide
52,
right.
13 something.
51-14. They beat
And wide left.
Cinco George Ranch. So they
Short,
started their day.
yeah.
Not Cinco George Ranch. But George Ranch. So they won 51-14. They were very good last year, and they seem to be pretty good. Again, I think everybody's looked at these two games as a step up from a scheduling for Allen, and
Yeah,
get
it's
them
not-
some tests before they get in district where things are going to take a. I don't know. From the results from last night, it may be a big downturn in District 9 6A this year. I mean, you look at Plano got hammered by Hebron. It was
All the Plano teams got
46 to
beat.
nothing at one point,
It ended up being 56-23, something similar.
something like that.
it hurt.
Plano West played a 5A school and got beat.
But they only gave up 17 points.
That is true.
So,
To a 5A school.
I mean, they probably don't have as many kids on the sideline as Reedy does.
How many
honestly.
fans did they
That's
have
true.
in the stands?
yeah, that's true.
So I'm looking for hopefully some type of positive. Got a new coach, maybe have created some culture change.
I think all of us would love for them to
Yes.
be better.
Competitive.
Absolutely.
We want a
And then
competitive Plano.
East lost too, didn't they?
East lost to LD,
LD Bell.
Yeah.
which
Should be embarrassed.
Professor Diggs, we love you, bro, and we don't feel your pain. We've never felt
We
pain
know
like
you're.
that.
We know you're in pain. So hang in
We
there.
know
buddy.
you're in pain, yeah. And we're here for you. We'll counsel you if you need to come
Yeah.
over.
You can come and lay on the couch.
Yeah,
and
we've got a couch.
You need to get some of that pain train over there at Plano East.
Yeah,
And then
McKinney
lost.
McKinney.
loses to
Yeah,
McKinney
McKinney
North,
North.
in a game that ended up being
45,
highly
42.
entertaining because they were getting beat pretty bad early, and they made a game of it.
And Prosper won.
And
Prosper won their stadium opener.
Yeah,
That's always nice.
21-7,
Congratulations.
I think.
It's too
Yeah.
bad they'll have to lose
31-7
one this
over
year in that
Rowlett,
stadium.
and then now
Jesuit lost.
I think a better team in the district this year is going to be Boyd. They got Joe McBride at the helm.
Yes, sir.
They're going to be better.
They won their game. Prosper won their game.
Yeah, they beat.
Rowlett.
Prosper
Boyd-
beat Rowlett.
Boyd beat Garland, Naaman Forest.
Naaman Forest, yeah.
And
Pretty
then
handily.
Jesuit lost to Arlington.
Yeah.
38-28 or something to that score. So you had, 3 teams in the district win and everybody else.
I think the McKinney schools will finish above the Plano schools this year.
That's bold prediction, I think.
Well, that's their
Yeah.
goal. Shut them out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well,
Come on.
and
Here's your
like
opportunity.
Our goal too.
Watching the McKinney game this morning, when I started watching it, they were already in a hole.
Yeah.
And to see how they climb back, I mean, they've got awesome sophomore running back. Number 3, that receiver was making circus catches. I mean, I think they were just in a hole so far.
Yeah, McKinney North's a good 5A school. I mean,
They are. They were good.
They're
Well
good,
coached.
but they're a 5A
So
school.
it'll see. We'll see. And the most, I think we've talked about this in the past, the most growth that you usually see in your team is between the first and second week.
Yep.
Because all of a sudden, instead of beating up on each other, they got to play someone else. And then the next day, today, they're in there watching film, and guys that were going, man, but I thought it would be better to go this way. And the coaches have always told them to do this. All of a sudden, like, well, maybe the coaches are right. And so all of a sudden,
What? Maybe the coaches are
the
right.
coaches, what they say is true. And so I think you see the most growth. And so I think and I know we were talking about other schools, but I think like the difference that we see in what we saw last night and what we'll see next week is going to be quite a bit different.
Yeah, and Dickinson's got a good long bus ride up here too, so that'll be interesting to see. But hey, it's cool playing somebody different, you know. And it'll be interesting to watch, and I'm feeling a little more at ease about, you know, what you're going to see.
Things.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there was a lot you didn't know what was going to happen. Yeah. Now we knew Raylan could run, so an 80-yard touchdown run.
Not surprised.
Doesn't surprise me. It surprised me that it was the first play on offense for the year, and it happened. You knew he was going to do it at some point.
Somebody else did that in
Did Kyler do
playoff
that
game
against Geyer?
Yes, he did.
Well,
Yes, he did.
Up at Apogee?
Yeah, the first play of the Tom
game.
Landry Classic at Apogee against Geyer.
2013?
Gone.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you
14.
guys. I'm getting a little bit tired of the media doing this little Kyler reference.
Yeah, it just needs to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
He may have been deemed that when he was in 8th grade, but that's the first I'd heard of it.
Yeah, this is Raylan.
Yeah.
This is Raylan Sharp. Let him be his own guy.
Yeah.
We need to get his dad on here.
We don't. Hey, Big Ray.
Do y'all know who his
Big
dad
Ray?
is?
Ray
Yeah.
Sharp. It's Ray, isn't it?
If you want to be extremely entertained, just go to a Ford Middle School football game at Ford Field
Yeah.
over there. He throws down. He's an entrepreneur. He does many things. One of his things is I think he does DJing and stuff. And you can evidently see
Oh,
that.
is he the PA announcer?
He's
Yeah.
the PA guy for the.
It's
And it
hilarious.
is a party.
Well, let's get
You
him
get a little
on.
It would
flashlight.
be kind of fun.
Yes. And then he always pumps up, hey, these boys are, when it's two middle schools from Allen playing each other, hey, these two teams are fighting it out, but one day they're going to be on the same team. And, he's all about Allen community for real. And
How about
That looks like a
great.
future Allen Eagle right there.
That's right.
How about that announcer last night for our game?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
I did.
good.
I don't know who he is, but I liked him.
Yep.
Well, they always have their own. Tom Landry Classic always has their own announcer.
Well, maybe we should play Tom Landry Classic games all year.
Chris, come out. Can we name
Chris,
it?
can you sponsor every game
Chris,
in
help
the
us
season?
out here, man. We'll do every game.
Are you wrapping it up?
I am wrapping up.
Can
You
I
have
do
something?
something first before
Uh-oh.
we do that?
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Where's he going?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Headdress.
What's going
I'd
on
like
here?
to give the Entertainment of the Year trophy. What do they call
The
themselves?
Red Army.
The Red Army Band
Oh.
from Cedar Hill.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Were they not awesome?
They were
Everything
awesome.
they did with the way they came into the stadium,
Disciplined.
everything was just I thought that
Entertaining.
was
Yeah. Way to
Best
go.
band we've ever seen.
Besides the Escadrille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be able to put the score on the field,
On the fly.
Yeah.
took so much, just coordination just to be able to, okay, when we make a one here, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just
It's got to be something you practice. You
And
don't
the
do that without
dance-
practice.
You have to.
Yeah.
They all did the jump split. Some of them did.
Modified
Some
jump
of them did it
split.
better than others, but that was very, very.
Yeah, they
That
were
was
really
awesome.
good.
They were great.
And
Glad you remember that, Alan.
Well, I noticed on the board last night on the internet, one of the Cedar Hill guys had said that 2 years ago this new band guy came and everybody's bought in, and obviously because
That is
the
obvious.
kids looked like they were having a ball, and like you
That-
said,
yeah.
discipline. They were all doing.
Well, I
And
don't
they
know
got a standing ovation.
Yeah,
from
us.
Yeah, from Alan.
if you saw later during the game, the band people always go grab somebody from the other band that came over.
Oh.
The three drum majors
Yes.
came over.
Oh, when they were
While
hooping
Alan
it
was
up,
playing
man.
a song, they were down there dancing in front of the band, man, and it was just awesome.
Oh, man, that's
it
great.
was
Yeah,
really
that was
cool.
motivating our band because
Yeah.
it's like something you don't see.
Obato, hey,
Come on,
your drum major's got to have dance moves
incorporate
instead
some
of being a drum
dancing.
major.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a alumni show up at our tailgate last night too.
What?
Came out his way in the rain to
Tay Brooks,
say hi.
we give a shout
Say
out.
hi
Yeah.
to us.
If anybody hasn't seen Tay Brooks lately, he is a different looking individual, and he'll even tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ask you how you doing. He goes, man, they are feeding me right. That's what he said. He said they're feeding me 3 meals a day. I just started laughing. I said, dude, you sound like you're in prison or something. I said, come on. But no, he's
Down at SMU.
formed up, and we see
Yeah.
a lot of that with linemen that go to these college programs. They
Yeah.
really get into football, very football-looking shape, really
Yeah.
quick, and he's already doing that. He had a concussion, but he
Yeah.
didn't play and he wasn't going to play today, but
Right.
he said it'll be soon, and he's ready to go.
And one of his evangel teammates
Yeah,
with us.
one of his teammates who is recovering from an injury also was one of the kids that played for Evangel when
Yeah.
they came up and
Came
played
up
us
here.
up here.
Yep.
That was fun to have him on the
It's always
sideline.
nice to see our alumni come by and say hi.
So thanks, Tay. We appreciate you stopping by and
Yeah.
going out of your way.
Good guy, good guy.
It was cool. So next week, Dickinson, 7:00 Friday night, back at the stadium. Hopefully, we won't have a pre-game rain.
But that cooled it down. That was nice.
It did.
It went
was-
away.
It
It's
was a
almost
nice-
chilly
yeah. I had
last
shared my
night.
jacket
Man,
for Alan and I, and we didn't use it. But again, shout out to all the teachers, staff, administrators, everybody who showed up for lunch yesterday.
Oh yeah, and Shay,
Shay,
sweetie,
thank you.
Thank you. This is all we have left.
We're going to knock these out here in a second. So,
Thank you for the goodies.
yeah, Jay, thanks for bringing those by. But again, thanks for everybody who came and had lunch with us. It was good sitting down talking with you, and hope you enjoyed it. And we had a good time doing it. So, anybody got anything else? Them feathers are cool, by the way.
I can't put it on, so.
I know.
It
It doesn't fit our. Those were meant for talonette heads, not our big fat heads. That's why. So anyhow, till next week, guys. It's over, and we're out.